Yes, these are solar panels, and yes, these are on water. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I am standing inside an industrial campus, and in front of me is something truly fascinating, a floating solar power plant. This is not a lake or a natural reservoir, this is a large industrial water pond, and on top of it floats a 7.3 megawatt floating solar power plant. Let's understand how this works, why it's built like this, and what makes it special. What is floating solar? Floating solar is exactly what it sounds like, solar panels installed on water instead of land. In this case, the panels are installed on a large pond inside the industry. The water in this pond is pumped from the Brahmani river and is later used for various industrial processes. Instead of leaving the water surface unused, the industry has smartly installed solar panels above it. So here, the same space is doing two jobs at once, storing water and generating electricity. How the plant floats? Now you might be wondering, how are these heavy solar panels floating? The entire structure rests on special floaters, usually made of HDPE material. These floaters are designed to carry the weight of the solar modules, support maintenance personnel, withstand sunlight, water, and weather for decades. The panels, mounting structures, and walkways are all fixed onto these floaters, forming one large interconnected floating platform. How it is anchored in place? Since this plant is floating, it cannot be allowed to drift. So the entire floating structure is anchored from all four sides using strong ropes and mooring lines. These ropes are tied to fixed anchor points at the edges of the pond. This anchoring system prevents horizontal movement, maintains alignment of the panels, protects the structure during wind and water flow. At the same time, the ropes are designed with flexibility, which brings us to the next point, movement with water level. One of the smartest features of floating solar is that the entire plant moves up and down with the water level. When the pond water rises, the solar plant rises with it. When the water level drops, the plant settles down accordingly. Because of this, there is no stress on the structure, no need for complex height adjustments. The panels always stay optimally positioned. This makes floating solar ideal for ponds, reservoirs, and industrial water bodies. Benefits of solar over water. Installing solar panels over water has multiple advantages. Reduced evaporation. The panels shade the water surface, significantly reducing water loss due to evaporation. Better efficiency. Water keeps the panels cooler, which improves solar panel efficiency compared to land-based systems. Land saving. No valuable industrial or agricultural land is used. Clean energy at point of use. The power generated is used directly by the industry, reducing transmission losses. Demerits of floating solar. Of course, it's not perfect. Some challenges include higher initial cost compared to ground mounted solar, complex installation and anchoring system. Maintenance is more difficult due to water access. Safety risks if proper precautions are not followed. However, with good design and operation, these challenges are manageable. Maintenance of floating solar. Maintenance here is more careful than land-based plants. Technicians work on designated floaters. Regular inspection of floaters, anchors, and ropes is required. Panel cleaning is done carefully to avoid slipping or damaging floaters. And most importantly, life jackets are mandatory for anyone walking or working on the floating structure. Safety is non-negotiable in floating solar plants. Cable routing on water. Now let's talk about power evacuation. The DC cables from the solar panels are neatly routed through cable trays and placed on the floating structure itself. These cables go to the inverters installed on floating platforms and from there into the substation. So yes, even the electrical infrastructure is floating along with the plant. This 7.3 megawatt floating solar plant is a perfect example of how industries can optimize resources, save water, reduce their carbon footprint, and generate clean energy efficiently. Floating solar is not just an innovation, it is a smart solution for the future. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one.